Hey everyone. Bit later than I know a lot of you have done this, but yeah, let's do Incursions today. I know a lot of people have been using Jean, but I use her a lot. And after Coliseum, I feel like giving Betsy a shot. So let's take a look. It's really hard to ignore Toxic Siphon, even on Betsy without native debuffs. I feel like that's still just worth it. Although Mutually Assured Destruction is pretty darn good, because that'll stack on top of her prowess. Yeah, let's do that one. Hey, work. How's it going, man? I actually just picked up some new parish beers tonight. Thought of you. I've got maybe you're familiar or have already tried it. Like Super Tropics or something. It's a double IPA with a bunch of mango and stuff. Looks good. Haven't had one yet. Okay. Maybe this is where we keep it going, just to go burr, just to go burr. Yeah, I mean we could take Buff Cornucopia, and that's probably better, but I don't know. I'm playing. Nice. I don't remember seeing it before, so I'm looking forward to it. This Magneto should be simple enough that, like, I think it's probably worth just biting the bullet and having a terrible Apocalypse fight to then have him ramped and be able to swap him out. Nice, Jay. Hope it's smooth for you. Hey, I'll take the poison applying. Alright, let's bait a special. So otherwise, we just know nothing will work. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. Hey, Jeff. That's fair work, yeah. Ordeal wasn't too bad. Obviously, they are bigger. It makes other problems. But you've at least, you're familiar with the fights. Okay, should have started with slow. That's fine. Nice. Shang-Chi's so fun. Makes sense, Jay. Honestly, I sold 10 revives earlier today, so I mean, if I had if I had the focus, I should be doing the same because I still have the CCP Karinas to do. I just don't really want to sit down and do them, honestly. Okay, let's... Oh, no, wait. We shouldn't swap APOC out just yet, because I haven't actually had a chance to apply his stuff, so we'll do that next room. Oh, been annoying. Okay, armor break potency feels pretty obvious. Yes. Hey, Vader, how's it going, man? Thanks, Misty. Yeah, what's funny is that, like, it's definitely better for me to use any spare time and focus I have to do that. But I know that when I do have that time, I'm just gonna get Valiant on my alt account. General rule, Noisy, please don't come here and ask for things that aren't broadly known, because you're basically asking me to break my NDA when you do that. I also don't know. No. Yeah, I haven't done any of Actate at all on the alt. But I've got time off coming up. What do you mean, congratulations, Elijah? You don't have in your head that Onslaught was one of mine, do you? Okay, now we can swap out. Okay. Nobody I'm running really cares about armor down. I'm just gonna bring in Pavither. What's funny is that Elijah is in my members' chat room and has been part of the conversations about how there are quite a few people in the community who do think that very unironically. Onslaught was Kabam Lex. Hmm. None of these are particularly good for me. It very well may have been misinformation. gotta go delete a comment. This is true. He does. I do have to be careful here. I don't actually want to catch Namor in a dash. But I can just do this. Oop. We got a little lucky there. Woo! Yeah, I knew I'd get hit there. That's fine. We'll heal it back later. Oh, nice, cat. Very patient of you. I think the Stellar Forged are interesting, yeah. Like, Fractured Power Bars are a cool mechanic. But I do also think it's kind of interesting to take familiar kits and imagine them in different classes. Fair, Elijah. Okay. Joey looks fine. Also fine. Don't really want to fight Bishop, though. Yeah, let's do this then. You know, it's satisfying to special intercept people in general. It's very satisfying to special intercept North Star. I haven't opened it yet, Easy. I actually am hoping and I'm holding both that 7-star Nexus and a Titan Nexus that I forgot Sir Riffin was holding on to. Yeah, so next time I stream, we'll have a couple exciting crystals to start it off with. Whoops. Can't believe I did that. I looked at the node and I was like, make sure you don't forget he starts unblockable. Guess what? It's one of my least favorite nodes for that reason. I always forget about it. Go ahead, buddy. was so ready for that Dex. Hey, Floyd, how's it going, man? Yeah, Betsy and Kushala are both quite good. I took up Betsy more for defense because I was just like, I have a rank 4 maker. I kind of have to, right? I have the answer for her. If I'm going to be caught flat-footed, it needs to be because people... Or no, like, I don't want to be caught flat-footed, right? I don't want to feel like I have to ban her because theirs is bigger than mine. So I took her up, but then Colosseum... I honestly did not realize just how well her damage would do there. And so, yeah, no regrets. And then, yeah, Incursions should be fun, too. Exactly. Hey, Scott, how's it going, man? Happy holidays to you as well. I'm looking forward to my time fully off. You know, I don't normally take Proud Degen. It's not one of my favorite buffs, but it should be pretty good with this team. And, like, Toxic Siphon is better, right? But I don't need to take all of the meta rare hacks. Misty is so annoying. Okay. Yeah, Lazarus is fine. That's fine. Cool, we'll go this way and take the buffs. Yeah, Betsy is fun on offense, but I don't think she's particularly useful on offense in a lot of contexts because her ceiling is longer, but like Colosseum is helping to change that, so I'll take it. BG's focus, would I take Kingpin or Crossbones? That depends. How good am I with Crossbones in this scenario? Icarus, are you serious? Whoa! Excuse me, sir. Yeah, Scott, that was known, but I appreciate you mentioning it. Hey, Joanne, how's it going? Yeah, I totally understand, Elijah. On this account, I took all Tier 7 basic, but on the alt account, I took kind of a mix of different things. Aiden. I mean, a high sig crossbones, if you're comfortable with him, is really, really hard to beat. But I think Kingpin probably will be the better rank up for 90% or more of people. That's interesting, Jay. We don't get a lot of, how do I put this? Earnest and not Nagase style, a little unhinged love for Icarus. But that's cool to hear. Heavy intercept. How about that? Alright, there's my one freebie. Yeah, Yondu was nuts. Funnily enough, he was actually my lowest score. But Adam was just not being nice to Yondu. Out of my 5 scores, Yondu was the only one where I don't think I ever actually timed out. I ran into the sleep somewhere in between 5:30 and 6:30 every time. C'est la vie. Hey, Shuriken, glad you enjoyed him. I hear you, Easy. I was like that with tech for a while. That's funny, Jay. And I want to clarify that the Nagase reference is not an insult. I appreciate his zest for the game. Yeah, Icarus is one of those where it's like he would be on paper it looks like he wouldn't need a lot for a buff, but under the hood, excuse me, his code is honestly kind of messy. And so it would be really tempting for us to take that opportunity to rework some of it, and I don't know exactly how much that would do. Oh, Caltrops is rude. Okay, maybe I will take MODOK. Yeah, it seems fine. Nefarious specials are rough. Yeah, I know there's been some discussion about like defender ratings in Coliseum, but honestly, Nefaria is an excellent illustration in theory relative to someone like Adam about how no matter what you think of the defender attribute score, they just don't translate linearly to Coliseum, right? Like in a Coliseum style content, I am so much more scared of Joe Fixit than I am of, I don't know, Who's someone I could pick? Thanos, right? Like Thanos is a harder defender than Joe, absolutely. But Joe sounds so much worse trying to reach for deep health bars with him. That makes sense, Jay. It's a cool link. Where are you getting the unblockable from, Elijah? Yeah, Dark Phoenix was gross. She was one of my higher scores as well. Hey, welcome. I appreciate the raid. Welcome, Joel. Here, buddy. Thank you. That's fun. You know what Pavita really needed was degen damage on his special attacks. Ah, fair. Fair enough, Aiden. I didn't get very far with the Tiger Run myself. I think I only tried once. And it was mainly because, like, the other runs I was doing were doing well enough that, like, because I know Tigra slows down a lot once you get past the, like, 7 or 8 mark. It just wasn't worth it to me, but yeah, she is fun against him in general. I agree with that. Welcome, Wolf. Appreciate the raid, assuming you are the Wolf of Wolfpack. Didn't want any weakness on me going into the special 3. Here, boy. Oh, no, you don't. I'll take one weakness there. Worth it. There's both another egg and another Aiden. Yeah, I did pick up on that. The run is going well. Apologies to all of y'all who aren't here often. I have been running into some troubles with either my Elgato or the brand new cord attached to it, unsure. I'm not going to mess with it this weekend, but next week I'm off for 2 full weeks for Christmas, and so I will be playing around with various streaming solutions, and we'll get this figured out. But yeah, if you see any, what you call it, Stuttering. That's what it is, and I'm aware, and I'm sorry. Tiger was my best friend after She-Hulk. That's cool. 12 or 13. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that is about what I was seeing as her ceiling. And that's, yeah, you should be proud of that. I think, what did I get? Like I said, Yondu wasn't working super well for me, so I think I only got like 15 or 16 with him. And I say only just because I know Yondu's capable of more. And I was not timing out. I was dying. But I think, like I said, he was my lowest. My four were what? Captain Britain, She-Hulk, Deathless She-Hulk, and Dark Phoenix. And they were all in like the 17 to 20 range. They were all very good. Ugh. Power Sting plus Meet Your Doom is so nasty. Alright, we're using Shang-Chi there. Even if it means we can't throw specials, I don't care. That's fine. Used Adam to practice Tigra? Yeah, that's incredibly valid. I think I'd probably gravitate towards burst damage, Jay, but like they're all valid. Big Yellow Numbers is probably my least favorite, but like that has a place too. Certainly done it a couple times. Patriot being the most obvious. Well, that was rude. Look at those short unstoppables. Aren't they beautiful? Yes, we have anti-cheat systems in Battlegrounds. The thing to remember that I know is kind of tricky to remember is that for someone to be banned for cheating, they have to cheat. And that means that, like, somebody obviously cheating against you does not mean that we aren't going to catch them, right? The other thing to remember is that, like, server capacity and memory, etc., like, is not unlimited, and we have a lot of players. And so our anti-cheat runs pretty frequently in Battlegrounds. I'm not gonna say how often, don't ask. But like it's not literally constant, right? It's not like somebody will finish a fight and then if they're cheating, it'll be like, all right, they're out of here. It takes some time. And so that does mean that people can climb a pretty significant amount by cheating before they get hit by the cheating system, right? And like that's the obvious ones. There are less obvious ones that are a little bit harder for the system to catch and it takes a little bit longer. But like I'm just saying, like keep all that in mind because yes, we do have anti-cheat, but you running into a cheater doesn't mean it's not working. You know, I wonder if Safeguard protects against Death Touch. Probably not. Yeah, exactly, easy. If that question was for me, Joanne, yes, those were all on hard difficulty. That is what I was saying. That is the luckiest I have ever been with Scarlet Witch not draining my power. Nice. Yeah, so the thing is, Aiden, with Captain Britain, like, that's roughly where I was at first. You have to go full degenerate with her. The only way to get good scores with Captain Britain, and I mean like really good scores with Captain Britain in Colosseum, is by abusing the safeguard. If at the end of the run you haven't used the safeguard to tank at least 2 special 3s, you probably weren't aggressive enough. So my guess is that was the difference. Because I definitely had to change up what I was doing. Fair enough, Egg. Um, Not really, Jay. Like MSD is paid by Kabam, yes. It depends on what you're going for, right? Like MSD is a contractor, so he is a Kabam employee in that sense. He's not a designer, if that's what you're looking for. I mean, neither are Mike and Dave, so I guess if you're including them, then yeah, MSD counts. FinTech works for us in QA. He doesn't do a ton of video uploads. Yeah, we'll see if Bitter starts doing more content. He definitely counts. Naw streams sometimes. He's on the balance team. He used to do more. He might do more again. I've been talking to him about it, but it's not super common. Some of y'all aren't so chill towards employees at times. It's present company excluded, of course, but you know exactly what I mean. Okay, Joe with Caltrop sounds rude, but Shang-Chi should be able to take that. Those should be fine, too. Escalating Assault on Sandman's a little rude. Would I prefer to take this Spider-Man? No, I don't know that I would. Ugh. Okay, yep, we're going this way. How could anyone be mean to... The irony for those who don't know is that Work and myself are both mean to Na. As appropriate, of course. Yeah, it did. Honestly, Aiden, I had the same reaction. I was like, wait, we left that open? On purpose? It's definitely big strength of hers. Oh, calm down, Ego. I didn't say exploiting and subject to ban. Hey, Globs, how's it going, man? There is that as well, Globs. There are quite a few employees who would just rather not have any scrutiny on them. If it was any more chill, I'd be asleep. I hear you there. It's been a relatively relaxed Sunday for me. I mean, I got a fair amount done. But, I've had some bourbon, and I may go get some more in a minute. Yes, yes it is, Egg. Okay, caltrops. Let's remember caltrops. Whoa! Okay, we'll heal him later. That was annoying. Ah, thanks, Clubs. I appreciate that. Hey, Nartic. Welcome. People were getting so testy. Well, I mean, actually, it depends on which crystal comp you mean, unfortunately. Does I'm specifically thinking the Gala crystal comp. I think people were just flat out way too impatient. There. The other one, I understand it, but, like, eh. Yeah, and work is absolutely correct. It depends on where you hang, because I've certainly had stuff thrown at me recently, but hey, it's always great to hear that people aren't hearing that, unironically. I appreciate that, Wolf. Yeah, welcome to the new members. The members out videos soon. I promise. Soon. Trademark. I know, Clobs, I know, and I know what you're doing. 9.3 rewards being bugged on our radar. I haven't heard about that. It doesn't mean it's not on our radar. That's more of a live ops or a quest thing. What's up, Nartic? Are they too good, not good enough, just the wrong thing? What's up? I mean, from our side, it certainly feels that way a lot of the times, Jay. I mean, in the interest of empathy, I understand it. Like, for players, you put a lot of time into the game. It matters when it doesn't work, right? And it is difficult for me to, like, fully put myself in those shoes because I understand how this stuff works. Like, I play AFK Journey a lot. There's an event going on right now. Um, It is definitely not working for me. I am getting notifications constantly about these rewards that I'm missing out on because I'm supposed to be like getting I'm supposed to be like contributing points to blight events. I have not seen a blight event and the thing has been active for a week. Every time I look at it, it's like, yeah, just go do this. They're nowhere. That is clearly like a bit of an oversight in the event design. I think it is fair to say that they messed up in some way. I'm not freaking out or steaming. I'm probably missing out on some rewards. It's unfair. That's unfortunate, but like stuff happens. But I also know that because I work in game design, I am probably more predisposed to be chiller about stuff happening. I also know that I haven't spent as much in that game as I have in this one. And so that probably makes me even more chill. And so I don't know. It's difficult for me to fully put myself in anybody else's shoes. I do understand that if you put a lot of time and or money into something, when it's not working, that's frustrating. Uh, I also think there are a lot of people who are just jerks over the internet, and there's not really any way around that. I'm not sure in Arctic. Like I said, that hasn't come up for me. It sure is good. I know. I'll do it. Dust or Cassandra? Cassandra? I think I lean Dust, but they do both definitely have value. I think Cassandra's probably a little bit better on offense. Dust can do some things, but cast ramps a little faster. But I do think Dust is a little better on defense. Yeah, I don't know. Hitboxes are tough, SYC. You're saying that when I'm sorry, you're missing some pronouns, but you're saying that when you're using Solvark, you're getting blocked and attacking Solvark is having issues chaining? Because I haven't heard that, if that's what you're saying. If you're saying Solvark is blocking things that other characters aren't, that wouldn't make sense. That reminds me, Klops, I need to actually play some Umamasume. What's my favorite game of all time? Woof. That's a high bar. For the purposes of this question, I am going to count series kind of as one. Um, like I'm going to count the three Dragon Ages, and I say three on purpose. If you know, you know. As a single trilogy, I'm going to count Mass Effect as one. I'm going to count the two KOTORs together. I'm going to count Total War Warhammer 3 together. It might be Mass Effect. I If you don't know me, then you may not have heard me say this before. I'm not really one to pick favorites because, yeah, I just don't think it's a particularly productive use of time. Like, I wouldn't be happy in a life where I only got to play one game. If I ever got stranded on a desert island and had to pick one to go with me, well, then that would suck because I would be stranded on a desert island with only one game. Um, yeah, so it's not really how I work, but I might have to give it to Mass Effect. I really respect what Total War Warhammer has done over the course of their trilogy as well. I don't know, that's a tough one. If I had to give it to a single game, really impressed with Against the Storm. See, this is what happens though, because like even as I start trying to answer this, I'm just gonna pick multiple games and shout them all out. Yeah, I just don't work like that. But hopefully those responses were interesting. Okay, that seems fine. Cool, cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Jay. I It's funny because like I've been at a couple in-person events now. There are absolutely people in this community who are incredibly nasty to me online. And then the minute they're in front of me, they just forget that happens. I don't know. Get it. I mean, I do get it. Look at that regen on the first hit. Beautiful. Need a step stool. Yeah, I mean, KOTOR is a very fair answer. I really don't know what's up, Clubs. Like I said, I literally just replaced the cable. And if it's the Elgato, I'm not buying another one. I'm so annoyed with them over time. Which means I probably need to look into whatever Sim is using. This is your daily reminder that null gain is a trash node. Oh! Of course, it was a full 5-hit combo. Oh, come on, man! My, like, inputs didn't work there for a minute, and that was just exactly what needed to not happen. That's fine. That's why we take these out of the rebirth crystals. How do you play Captain Britain on offense? Special 3, Special 2, Special 1. But there's a number of other things, but that's kind of what I've been doing. You can spam Special 2s for raw hit damage. Special 2, Special 1 gives you more neuros. Because that pauses the exhaustions while the slow is up, and that's quite nice. That was very important to my Coliseum runs. Yeah, you were pretty much what I expected, Dilly. Oh. I don't know, Joe, but I did see that the lead reached out or like spoke out and said it would not be 2020 or 2030 as people were saying. Tranquility is so dumb. Oh no! I thought that was a full combo. Must have missed something. See, that was my concern, Easy. You said one special 2 and you're back up to 90? Nope, because they die. But that's alright. That's something. I'm 6'3". Which, because this is the kind of thing you know if you're tall, I am above the 99th percentile, but I would still be very short in the NBA. Percentages are funny like that. No, Hinder's been around for a while. At least since Destroyer. I hate to break it to you, Kat. You're a little bit on the short side. Yeah, my computer can definitely handle the stream elements. Like it's strong enough, and it's had no problems for a while. Just I don't know. It probably is the Elgato because I replaced the cable, and it's exactly the same issue so far. And that means I'm going to have to start looking into other programs. I did see your recommendation, Wolf, and I'll consider it, but Sim said that what he's been using is working pretty well, and I don't think it's paid, but we'll see. So combined, we're tall. Funny. There we go. Just do it, I know. Okay. Stop. Thank you. Murdoch sounds like a short person's name. Oh, shut up, Goodman. We don't need that stuff here. I'm familiar with the songs and the stereotypes, but that's nonsense. No, people love to romanticize it, but being 6'3" is annoying in a lot of ways. And I'm not complaining. I wouldn't trade it, but, like, when people say it's perfect, they don't know what they're talking about. I spend entirely too much money on shoes and clothes and extra legroom on planes. Yes, no, the back pain thing is real. I have scoliosis and bad knees. Best use case for Shang-Chi Special 1. Special 2 does too much damage. Exactly. You get it. Our Reserve Serpent. In what context, Jay? Are you talking Node 9? Imagine not having legroom. See? Cat's being mean to me. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, I don't really want to fight a large torch. Oh, you jerk. First heavy of the fight. Wild. First time I met Kat, I remember she was in a pizza shop with a bunch of people I did know, and so I was like, that's probably Kat. No Dine is a tough one. If she's not banned, Nico can do it. I've done that. Isophene with Reed pre-fights can do it pretty well. We've sent that a bunch of times. Who else am I forgetting? Mojo can do it. It's tough. Who am I forgetting? I know there are more. It is one of his tougher placements for sure. Whoops. Here, boy. Yeah, no, it is absolutely not a joke, Tilly. Like, I can make do, and I don't enjoy it, on shorter flights. But, like, I've had some unpleasant experiences on airplanes when I am making do in just normal economy. I remember there was one in particular where this incredibly entitled, like, 55-year-old businessman was trying to recline, and he physically couldn't because my knees were in the way and I did not have another place to put them. And so as he was pushing backwards, I put my hand out to hold him up. And this like 150-pound man literally threw himself at the seat to recline it and then yelled at me. I was like, dude, there's nowhere for me to go. Which is why on any flight over 2.5 hours, I pay the upgrade. Does not feel optional. Yeah, you and Pete are not particularly similar looking. Yeah, I think I have done it with Kushala as well, but it was not pleasant. Don't worry about it, Globs. What type of Elgato do I have? I've got a HD 60S. I bought the 4K a while ago when I wanted to update, and I realized I didn't have the proper slots on my motherboard, and I was not ready to upgrade my motherboard. I don't know. I'm getting closer to that again, but I haven't wanted to deal with it yet. I've made some larger purchases recently. I've got a new TV. I don't really want to invest in another tower. Excuse me, just yet. Oh, that looks awful. We should be able to deal with it though. Yeah, that seems fine. Yes, Symbiote Supreme is another good shout. Thank you, Easy. I'm just not remembering everything right now. Yeah, I've done long haul drives before, Jay. I'm currently outside of Houston, which is where I grew up, but I lived in Pittsburgh for 7 years, and I did the drive back and forth there about 8 times. So I am plenty comfortable with long drives, but sometimes you just gotta fly. Planes gotta stop packing people in like sardines. Yeah. Some of you have heard me say this before, but I remember a few years ago, um, the TSA or one of FAA, I don't know, one of those administrations was putting a rule up for comment on reducing the minimum distance between seats. And that is the only time I have ever gone out of my way to write a public comment on a regulation proposal because I had some strong frickin' words for that. Fair enough, Clubs. I don't remember. I haven't looked at him in years. But yes, I'm thinking of the M.2 one. That was not an option for me. I'm not gonna have any more luck in my car. No. No, I'm familiar with Works car. That is not ever going to be an option for me. Yes, it is easy. Because it's not a lot more in Economy Plus when I pay for the upgrade, but it feels completely different. Yeah, I don't particularly like long drives work, but I've done it. Oh, that's some nonsense. That doesn't sound fun at all. Oh, I know, clubs. And, like, there's a reason I tried to buy the M.2, and I just didn't realize that yeah, I didn't do enough research. And that's why I have this one, but now it doesn't seem to work. Come on. Chicago to San Francisco is a long one. No, I don't think we need anyone who doesn't have a filter, Puffy. Oops. Forgot about use it or lose it. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Fair play, Carl. That was my fault. I didn't, get the hell out of the way enough. Fratricide, cat. Brother on brother violence. Yeah, I've done the marching band spring break to Disney World. Obviously, mine was not as far as yours would have been, but woof. Trolling is an excuse that people who have bad senses of humor hide behind. You can do better. I know what you meant, Kat. Oh god, the unlimited power here is going to be so rough, too. They're really making me work here. Oh no. Oh look! The Joe Special 2 dodge. That's not going to happen again for a while. Take care, Kurt. See you soon. Hey, Snoops. That's so much easy. Okay. That should be okay. Yeah, we should be alright. Technically, I did get tagged at the end, Elijah, but yeah, sometimes things happen when you need them to. Yeah, I feel that, Cat. I feel that, Elijah. I've got an hour on you, or I would be having a similar reaction about my Duolingo. Yeah, Pavita should be better for this than Betsy. imagine so easy. This has to be Shang-Chi again. Yeah. Apart from absorbing mana is definitely an important qualifier. And beyond that, I'm not sure. It's obviously a very strong group. I intend to get them all. So I don't know. Tunnel vision is so... word I probably shouldn't use on stream. Power Alternator Purgatory again, really? Yeah, scroll will be better. Cool, we can do that. Is her slow still broken? Are you kidding me? Sorry, bit of an outburst. Maybe it's already fixed for next build, but I am going to be checking myself on Monday, that's for darn sure. Let me read these again real quick. Okay, cool. Throw it? No? Okay. $15 degens. How about that? Uh, I don't want to overstate my involvement, but I participated in the conversation. Yes, Jay. It definitely was a significant conversation. The thing is that, like, I feel like I have to deal with this with Pavita, because if I go with Betsy, then he's just gonna be like, haha, I got 6 energizes. And now every time I throw a special, you die. I really hate Icarus. Sitting on so many rank up materials, I need to get them all. That's funny. Dang. That's impressive, Aiden. Oh, okay, we're done. Cool. I should have realized that, with the gem there. Okay, let me double check my inventory. I need to make sure that stuff isn't going to expire. One second. Oh, I do have some tier 1 ascension dust that needs to go. Okay, no, I've got a full 11 days. Cool, cool. I don't know. Throw a dart. God, I have 2 ascensions worth in overflow? Alright. I mean, you say the only thing that comes to mind, Snoops, but that is a pretty massive element. Ghost outside of Hazard Shift Cheese, I do think the game is about ready for it. And if her Fury and her special one, or sorry, if her Fury and her Sig wasn't stacking, I wouldn't be worried about her. But it is stacking. And if I remember correctly, it doesn't even scale, right? Yeah. Or, oh, sorry, it's not even in her Sig. I keep forgetting this. It's just base kit. Yeah. But, like, it's just... This one line is the problem, right? Because she handles damage over time debuffs in a way that nobody will ever, like, nobody can really mess with, right? It's not a purify, it's not an immunity, and she benefits from it. And the way she benefits from it is by gaining 100% of her attack rating for each debuff. It is so incredibly egregious. Like, it's just an ability that nobody ever should have had. Hey, Kevin, how's it going, man? Anything else in her kit, I think, is more okay. But that one line is what concerns me. Like, if it said she was immune to damage over time debuffs, and the Fury had a max stacks of 2, she'd be fine. I don't really care what Pete thinks about that. Like, there is an argument that the game could absorb her being released now, right? But that is not the same thing as saying that she's okay. She does some really nasty stuff to RPG ecosystems overall, to class implications, and just to the existence of damaging debuffs in general. Yeah, honestly, Kat, that was just dumb. If she was gonna have what was effectively a purify in tech, and that was a problem because she was punching into mutants, then she should have just kept the freaking purify. No, I don't agree with that, Rajat. I know that that's a very common line of thinking, but I do not think that that is the only problem with Hercules. It's a pretty bad one, but that's not the only problem with Hercules. Yeah, we're looking at ways to get synergies back in work. Active discussion. Many of us miss them, myself very much included. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have the discussion about, a tiny tweak making the difference, Kate's a better example. Because her cold snap just does too much damage. I goofed. As did the balance designer covering. Not covering me, that's not the right word, but as did the balance designer working with me. We goofed. Fortunately, to goof is human, as they say. Okay, is there anyone I want these to go into? Maker's getting pretty high sig. Maybe I just max him out. Did I max out Ant-Man? I legitimately cannot remember. I don't think I did. I did not. Where's Maker? Also 120. I have not clubs. It's really hard to tell, Jay. It's really hard to tell. I hope that we would have adjusted her, but I don't have much faith in it. It's not like we adjusted Juggernaut. You'd probably just have way more cold snap immunity in the game. And then Solvark and Iceman and Misty and would all be that much worse, right? Like, it already happened a little bit, but I think if Kate had been released as a 7-star, then Cold Snap would just have been dead as any kind of offensive tool for at least 3 years. Mm. And he's at 100. Hold on. Pulling up Prestige real quick. There's Maker. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so Maker is the highest out of these. Even though I don't think his SIG is actually that good. He's also still in the Titan. But I wouldn't be maxing him out. I'll leave it for now. Yeah, like Shocks is a very good example of like why to end the stream on a bit of a soapbox note. It's like it's why it's healthier for the game and better for players if we nerf more freely. Because players always love to talk about like, oh, if you nerf a champion, then you changed what I paid for and you are taking something away from me. And like I'm not gonna get into the whole terms of service or whatever, because yeah, not gonna get into it. But like when we don't nerf things, yes, we will design around it. We know how to do our jobs, we are good at it. But there's always a cost. There's always a cost. There's some serious corrosions in. Anyway. Where am I at over here? Okay, I know I've got gems. Speaking of skill gems, easy. Not a lot of options. Cosmic, I have a lot more options. We'll see where that goes. Okay, so 10 of these. 20 of those. Mystic is the only one I have a 20 of, and then 114 normals. Okay, we're heading into this okay. No, that's not what I was looking at. Okay, who can I use this on? Maybe that's how I take Imperiosa up. Although Frank is tempting. All right. I'm gonna think on that one. Yeah, exactly. Work. Like, it's obvious from a player point of view, if you've been playing the game for a while, why, like, if you were here when Kabam put true focus on all of Boss Island to stop Ghost and Quake, and it didn't stop Ghost, and it hit Elsa and Negative and a bunch of other characters, Mr. Fantastic, like, you can understand collateral damage because that was the most obvious instance of it. But just because that was the most obvious one doesn't mean it was the only one. Have you listened to the what is it? I think there's two members only videos that you would find interesting, Jay, if you haven't watched them yet. There's one on Design Space. I think it's just called What is Design Space? And another one called Breaking the Wheel. Both very much in that vein. Yes. The way it backfired against Kitty Pryde was very funny. I agree with you there. That was so dumb. Yeah, Kitty's another example of somebody that's going to be hard to fully solve when she eventually releases again. Like, we'll do it. Again, that's always the thing. Like, it's to kind of go on a different soapbox for a quick second. I feel like there is, especially among men, I will say that, but just kind of in general in modern society and more so in American society, there's kind of this instinct where if to call everything easy, right? To minimize the difficulty of things. And so if you are able to do something, if you succeed at a task, that means it was no big deal, right? If you were capable, it was, oh, that's no problem, because that makes you look more competent, right? Wrong, in my opinion. And I think it's actually very important for a whole bunch of reasons that I won't list all of to acknowledge when things are difficult. And I think it actually speaks more to your competence if you understand how difficult things are and you are adequately answering difficult challenges. And that is very relevant here because just because we are able to do something does not mean it's easy. It does not mean there's no cost. That's very cool, Jay. Yes, there was the True Strike thing with Miguel as well. All right. That's enough pontificating for the evening. But thank you all for hanging out. This is a good one. I promise to get my capture card under control eventually. Or to give up on it and to find something else.